Hello, Keller Class. Our lesson this afternoon is an RE lesson, and we're looking at the Bible and specifically who wrote the Bible. So I want to share a PowerPoint with you and then explain the task I want you to do. So we're thinking about who wrote the Bible, and we're going to begin by carrying out a little quiz, a true or false quiz. So we're going to see how much we think we know already. So the Bible is the best-selling book in the world. Do we think that's true or false? Have a think and decide. That's true. Although it's hard to work out the exact figures, Guinness World Records believe that more than 5 billion copies of the Bible have been sold. Is this one true or false? The Bible contains a story about a man eating insects. Is that true or is it false? That's true. John the Baptist ate locusts and honey while he was in the desert. There's a picture of a locust there. True or false? The Bible contains mostly stories and laws. Do you think that's true or do you think it's false? That's false. The Bible contains many different types of text, including letters, wisdom sayings, and even 185 songs. Is this one true or false? The Bible contains a story about a talking donkey. Is that true or false? It's true. In the book of Numbers, Balaam is riding his donkey when an angel appears blocking their way 3 times. When the donkey won't go on, Balaam hits it. God gives speech to the donkey and the donkey says, "Oh, why are you hitting me?" Balaam sees the angel and follows God's orders. So we're going to think about now who wrote down the Bible. Christians believe that God inspired people with the words and then they wrote them down. It worked a little like this. God spoke, the Bible authors listened and wrote it down, and the Bible was made. I'm going to have a look now at some facts about the Bible. It's written by 44 different authors. It was written over a period of 1,500 years, from 1,400 BC before Christ to 100 AD. The original text of the Bible is written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. The Bible is separated into 2 sections, the Old Testament, which was before Jesus was born, and the New Testament, which focuses on the life of Jesus and the early church. And the Bible's got 66 books in it in total. The first 5 books of the Bible, known as the Book of Moses or the Pentateuch, are also sacred texts to Jewish believers. So our lesson today, we're focusing on an author of the Bible and called Paul. So I'm going to read some information and then you've got some questions I'd like you to do. So Paul's story is an interesting one. His first name was Saul, and he was born into a Jewish family in a place called Tarsus. Paul worked as a tent maker. He could travel to many different places to do his work. He was a Pharisee. Pharisees were a religious party in biblical times who believed in life after death, but did not agree with many Christian beliefs. Paul spent much of his life punishing Christian believers. He might have done this because he thought they weren't observing the Jewish laws when he thought they should be. All this changed when Paul was traveling to Damascus. He saw a vision of blinding light and became a Christian. After this, Paul no longer punished Christians. Instead, he became an important figure in the early church. Some people think that Paul was born at the same time as Jesus. Paul traveled to many different places. He traveled to establish churches and preach about Jesus. Paul was arrested and put in prison for the things that he did as a Christian. Several books in the New Testament were written by Paul. Even while he was in prison, Paul wrote long letters to different churches. The letters often included advice and greetings. These books are named after the church they were written to, like the book of Galatians, which is the letter wrote to the church in Galatia. Paul wrote 13 letters in total: Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, and Philemon. Let's have a look at your task now. So I would like you to answer these questions. So let's have a look at the questions. So I want you to tell me the name of 6 books that Paul wrote. Question 2 is when and where did he write them? Question 3 asks you to think about why did he write his books? And then question 4 is tell me 4 other facts about Paul. And can you see, Keller Class, I've made a mistake. That shouldn't be a question mark. That should just be a full stop. I'm so sorry, Keller Class. So I'd like you to write your answers to those 4 questions on paper and send me a picture of your learning on Dojo. Good luck, Keller Class, and I really look forward to seeing your learning.